So I was thinking the other day, I was thinking long and hard about this. You know, you always wake up in the morning, you like to start your day with a nice, a couple strips of bacon, some eggs, maybe 1 egg, 2 egg, 3 eggs. Here, I'm not here to discriminate against how many eggs you eat in the morning. That's between you and the Lord, and I hope He doesn't judge you for your egg consumption. And He shouldn't do so because eggs are kosher, as we know. But if, I don't know, if you're some sort of facet of vegetarian or vegan or one of those things where you like to berate other people for not doing the same sort of thing that you're doing, which is similar to religion, then you might think that, you know, eggs, they're something that maybe people shouldn't be eating because they are live, or they were going to be live chickens up until the point where they were scrambled. No pun intended, but kind of, because eggs, you know, you scramble eggs when you make them, so that's kind of how it works if you ever made eggs before. Or, I mean, you could do sunny side up, or you could do over easy, or maybe you just don't even cook the eggs. You just pour them in a glass and drink them like that, like some sort of crazy psychopath from Dinner for Schmucks. You know, that movie? That famous movie starring Steve Carell and, I believe, Paul Rudd as the suave businessman. That was a good movie. If you ever saw it, it was a good movie about Paul Rudd's he was trying to get a promotion, and his way of going about doing this was to schmooze up to the higher up executives at his. Hold on, I need to start the fucking episode. Okay, welcome to SparkleDart. So, anyways, I was talking about a little movie called Dinner for Schmucks. I'm sure you've all seen it. It came out in, I think, 2011. It was a real good movie. I liked it when I watched it. It was a fantastic film starring my favorite actors in the world, Steve Carell and Paul Rudd. And I don't remember who else was in there, but probably some other crazy actors that you all remember, like Mark Ruffalo or Jared Fogle. He's probably was in there. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't look up on IMDb to see all the background actors. I'm kind of here for my own thing. I'm kind of here for my own game. So if you would prefer to not, berate me for my knowledge on movies that I watched a couple of weeks ago, and then before that in theaters, and then never again. So I don't have all that information at my fingertips, even though I do. If you consider that. I guess instead what I should have said was I don't have all that information stored up in my brain like some sort of, brainiac mutant from the Animaniacs, Dr. Scratch and Sniff. He had like a big old brain, and he spoke the German language, which is it's an oxymoron almost, right? Because Germans, they're known for their light-hearted behaviors and their the pale ales and their lagers. And Sam Adams, probably not though. I don't remember what. Sam Adams is domestic. Sam Adams is domestic. I think that might be out of California or Colorado or one of those C countries, or maybe even a D country. How many D countries do we got? Delaware? Just Delaware. Yeah, that's the only one I think it was. I had to go through the alphabet of the states in my head real fast because I know them all in alphabetical order. If you don't believe me, I will arm wrestle you to death. I will arm wrestle you to the death, and that is not a threat. That is a guarantee. I will fucking. I'm sorry. I don't mean to swear my program. I got angry. I got carried away. Consider this my public apology. I didn't mean to get so heated, and the fact that I did shows very little restraint on my own part. I fancy myself a very well-to-do man, and I would never threaten somebody who didn't deserve it. And if you're trying to call me out or something, and you're just trying to make a big old scene, make a big stink, whatever it is you're trying to do, I'm not really here to understand what sort of logic goes through your mind when you make these outrageous claims at me behind my back or in front of my face or even next to my shoulder when you're lying on the couch next to me and we're watching 300 with Gerard Butler, that guy, that actor, that famous actor that we all love, and he's kicking people off of cliffs, and the internet goes crazy. They're like, "This is a great movie. Check out all these memes that I got from the movie." Because the internet loves memes or memes to some clicks, or maybe even memes. I'm not quite sure myself, to be quite honest. I always called them memes before there was a thing on the Facebook, because the Facebook is what I think the Facebook or the Reddit.com is what started this whole phenom, and I could be wrong. but I believe they were in circulation in use on the internet forums, like the World of Warcraft, which I'm not super familiar with. I watched an episode of, I believe it was Breaking Bad, that talked about World of Warcraft. The whole episode was like a weird parody, a weird like fever dream or something. I don't know. I might be getting my shows mixed up here. I don't watch television because I'm not a mook. I'm not a mook, and I don't watch television. Now, what I do watch, or what I do is I will go on to hulu.com/org/net.gov, and I will go on there and watch the new episodes of shows that people tell me are good, like Cake Boss and Ace of Cakes and Cake-a-Palooza, which is a new one that you haven't seen yet because it just came out, and my friend works on that show, and he showed me some preliminary episodes before they went on TV, so I got that edge over you. So if you think that you know more about cakes than me, I got one more show under my belt, and I will contest to you that you might know how to make cakes better than I do. That's, I don't make cakes, I just enjoy seeing how they're made, It's like that other show, How They Make It, or How It's Made, or something like that, where they show you how they pour plastic into molds to make Lego bricks, and the Lego bricks have to be perfect, otherwise they will toss them out and they will not use those bricks anymore because they are worthless essentially to the company. Because every Lego has to be perfect, as we all know. They have to have that click and lock method. Now, if you know anything about the click and lock method, here's something interesting for you to go to Bing.com and look up. It's the Pumapunku ancient ruins. I think it might be in South America, like in Peru or Argentina, or like, Machu Picchu's, that kind of thing. You got all those llamas and Brazilians, and what, they play soccer down there. It's fun. They got Ronaldo, he's kicking a ball. It's a good time. You should check it out. But Pumapunku, I think I saw this on a show called Ancient Aliens, which is a fantastic show. Not that I believe in the extraterrestrial origins of Earth, but I think that it is interesting to consider that they were doing all these things way back then that we don't even have the knowledge to do, the foresight to do these days, with our own hands and feet and labor and forced labor and slave labor and paid labor, wage labor, all sorts of labors that we got at our disposal, and we can't even make bricks go on top of other bricks. Isn't that sad? I think that's real sad. We'd rather just pour cement slabs in place and then hoist them up with steel girders and stuff like that, and it would be not even similar. You wouldn't be able to. I don't really know what the point of the pyramids were, to be honest. I think they were. I've always heard that they were ancient burial tombs, but honestly, I don't know that for sure because I heard also that they never found any bodies. They never exhumed any bodies out of the pyramids, the Great Pyramids of Giza, and. Even more so, the Sphinx has evidence of erosion, water running over the sedimentary rocks for hundreds and thousands of years, while the pyramids don't, which kind of implies that at one point in time the area where the Sphinx was built was covered in water, like liquid water, like what they found on Mars not too long ago. That was actually today when they announced that, but that was not too long ago for you when you're hearing this now. If you understand anything about recording and production, you understand that is not how things work. I don't make one episode a day and then upload it right away. I'm not some sort of spastic kid who has ADD and likes to watch SpongeBob SquarePants while eating candy in the dark. I'm not like that. That's not me. If you think that's me, then you're talking to the wrong guy. You got the wrong fella. I would never do something so childish because I'm not a child. I'm an adult man, and you must treat me like an adult man, goddammit. Okay, so where was I going with that? I don't remember where I was at. I was talking about SpongeBob, pyramids. Yeah, that was the connection. I was talking about pyramids, and then I got onto the subject of SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, don't get me wrong. That's a great show for kids. Even if it is a little bit obnoxious, you got the Sponge and the Squiddy and all sorts of great characters that live under the ocean, and you can go visit them, and it's great. And don't take off your scuba helmet because you will die. And that was something that happened in I think. Oh, that was asinine. Okay, so okay. Okay. There we go. We're good. I got it figured out. Don't worry. Please don't worry. So, I thought I had something else to set up. Oh yeah, I was talking about the pyramids and how they weren't like ancient burial tombs like we thought that they were, and then you can like line them up with the stars on Orion's belt and something like that, and it's like it makes the constellation from Earth, and apparently the pyramids are so massive that they have their own. They distort gravity around them, and if you know anything about the gravity distortion, it creates something called time dilation, which time dilation is when clocks run faster in some parts that experience higher gravity, or maybe it's the other way around, I don't really know, because like the faster you travel to the speed of light, the less time you experience relative to the rest of the people who experience a normal time, like you and me and my dad and my grandpa, and because of that, if you watch the Cosmos with Carl Sagan, or maybe the new one with Neil deGrasse Tyson, which I don't think I saw all of, they talk about time dilation and how if you rode a moped at 99% the speed of light, you know, because that's something that could happen. And by the time you got back, your friend would be 70 years old. You'd still be a little baby boy. You'd be a nubile boy chick, you know. And I think that's super fascinating. I don't exactly understand why that happens, but it is confirmed to happen because we've got satellites up in orbit, and even though they experience an infinitesimally smaller amount of gravity than we do here on Earth, they still, their internal clocks still tend to get off because that's not sexual. Don't be weird, guys, please. They tend to get off of our Earth time. Now, if you know anything about how time is kept track of these days, seconds used to be arbitrary, and because of that, we had things like leap seconds and leap years and leap days and whatever else like that we had to correct on the calendar. But now, I think a second is described as the amount of time it takes for one electron of cesium-137 to decay, which is about 1 second, and cesium-137, I believe, is a radioactive isotope that they either use for fissile experiments in nuclear power or nuclear testing or nuclear explosives. I don't exactly remember because I'm not a crazy psychopath who builds nuclear bombs in his backyard. I'm not a Boy Scout who is taught how to build terroristic weapons that North Korea can't even figure out because they're a bunch of nice people who have a very homely country and is well-to-do and on the rise, and they're not bad people. They're not bad people. So please quit laughing. They're just trying the hardest, and you're making it more difficult for them with your taunting and your jeering and your incessant. You're pointing and you're giggling. So stop, guys. Stop giggling. Please just stop giggling at the slant eyes. Please, just don't. They don't like it, and I don't like it either. So please, just make that promise to me. I will stop laughing at North Korea. Honestly, I don't think that North Korea is a funny joke. Like, you got these things, like, you got people who think that, like, everybody's in on this joke where North Korea is full of crazy dictators that like to stand on the rainbows and pretend that they built the heavens and the earth. And I don't think that that's funny at all. It's like the same people who laugh at the Michael Jackson sexual misconduct allegations. I think it's just in poor taste. The man worked real hard for most of his life, pretty much all of his life, ever since he was a little wee baby boy. And because of that, to take it all away by laughing at him, calling him the bad guy, and just making him feel uncomfortable and insecure with his body, it's just, you know, it makes me sad that he had to endure all of that sort of publicity before he passed on. God rest his bones. I'm sure the bones now, there's probably no more flesh on them. If you know anything about how decomposition works, that's probably pretty accurate to how it would happen in real life, you know. So I'm gonna wrap this up here real soon, as quick as I can, and then we're gonna be back tomorrow at same time, same place. Maybe different location, I don't know, it's too early to tell, but I guess you'll just have to wait and find out when we get there. So thank you for watching, I've been SparkleDart, goodbye, mwah.